Good morning, kids. Welcome back to Emberry's Children's Time again. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. So it is officially summertime. Yay! It's getting really hot outside. I'm sure you guys are playing in some form of water. I love to play in the water. It cools us off on a really hot day. It keeps us hydrated. It allows for things to grow, for plants and our gardens and flowers to grow. So, did you guys know that in some places of the world that there are things that happen called droughts? Do you know what a drought is? If you said that a drought is when a long extended period of rain does not occur, you're correct. So, when the rain doesn't come. Well, what do you think that those people that live where the droughts happen, do you think that they lose faith in knowing that God will provide them rain? Do you think they lose their faith knowing that God will give them rain for themselves, for their plants and their animals? No, I don't think that they lose faith, guys. They keep their faith. They know that God will keep their promise to them and provide rain for them. And then one day, God gives them rain. He gives the animals rain, the people, the land. So in our story today, in our Bible story, we are reading out of the book of Romans, chapter 4, verses 13 through 25. And we hear a story that Paul tells us about a man named a man named Abraham and his wife Sarah. So, this is Abraham and this is Sarah. Hope you can see them. So, Abraham was an old man and Sarah was an old woman. But Abraham was a righteous old man. He kept his faith for a very long time. And Sarah, she was an older lady too. God gave Abraham a promise, a gift. He said, I'll make you a promise, Abraham. I will give you a gift one day. All you have to do is accept the gift and live as if the promise would come true. God told Abraham that he would give him and Sarah a descendant and become a great nation. So God told Abraham that he would grant him and Sarah a son. Well, Abraham and Sarah waited and waited and waited for God's promise to come true. And although Abraham waited so long, he still believed God and believed that God would keep his promise and had faith that God would keep his promise to him. So, this is why Abraham is known as a righteous man of faith, because he believed without even the promise being kept yet or being made yet. See, can you see that Abraham here, he was 100 years old before God granted him his promise. And Sarah, she was 90 years old before God gave the promise to them that he had told them that he would. So, the promise that God gifted Abraham and Sarah was a child, was a descendant, someone to carry on their name. That child that they had, they named him Isaac. And later on in life, Abraham lived to be 175 years old, and he ended up having 7 more children. Don't you think that's kind of crazy that Abraham and Sarah, even though they were so old, that God still allowed them to have a child? It's kind of unheard of, huh? But it happened. So God has offered us the same gift of promise, a place among the people of God. All we need to do is accept that gift and live as God's people through faith, love, and hope. And know that sometimes we don't always get what we want. God doesn't always give us what we want, but He will give us what He needs. And we need to keep our faith in knowing that the timing is right when it does happen. And it will happen one day. So that's it for today's lesson. So we're going to, you want to join me in prayer. You can bow your heads and then repeat after me, okay? Dear God, thank you for today and every day. We dream of being your faith-filled people, and we trust your power to make your promises come true. Amen. Bye. See you next Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all of the great dads out there. Be good today, kids.